As the tension gradually eases as we leave the tavern, we follow Gaidrir along a small, winding path that leads into the forest, away from the other dwellings. After a few minutes' walk, we arrive at a large cabin, modest but well kept, with a small vegetable garden and a tranquil pond where the water reflects the rays of the morning sun. What a charming place, Gaidrir. You could say you know how to cultivate discretion, if not how to lie, haha. Gaidrir smiles, visibly happy to show us his refuge, but a little shy, like someone unaccustomed to welcoming visitors. My friends are already approaching the pond, curious about the wriggling fish, but I wave them back. We enter the cabin. The interior is cramped, a little messy, with ancient manuscripts piled everywhere. Gaidrir seats us around the table and pours us each a glass of mead. The air is filled with a sweet, sugary scent, and the calm of the place contrasts with the hustle and bustle of the village. I think it's time, Gaidrir, to tell my friends why we're here, don't you? Gaidrir nods, his cheeks flushing slightly. He avoids direct eye contact, focusing instead on arranging the cups and jugs on the wooden table. Yes, I suppose it's time. He clears his throat, his fingers drumming against the table. Please make yourselves comfortable. You'll understand why I've been evasive. It's not every day I share this with outsiders. His eyes flicker around the room, settling on each of your faces. He seems to be gathering courage. I've told Kaller some of this already, but the truth is I've spent decades researching a particular topic, a topic that could change everything, and it's connected to the way of Valamir, very closely. He hesitates, his brow furrowed. I've written hundreds of pages, pored over ancient texts, and I've found something incredible, something that will explain why the way matters so much, why it's crucial to restore it. He swallows hard, his hands shaking slightly. But to show you I need to, well, show you. He gets up, shuffling through a stack of papers, sending dust motes dancing in the sunlight streaming through the windows. Gaidrir stands up and glances quickly out the window, making sure no one is watching us. He approaches the small fireplace and lifts some floorboards, sending up a cloud of dust in the morning light. He pulls out an old wooden chest, covered in cobwebs, then removes a small earthenware pot and extracts a massive stone key with mysterious engravings. The sunlight plays on the patterns, making them sparkle as if alive. We move closer, fascinated, and a respectful silence falls over the group. Is this the famous key you told me about, Gaidrir? I ask, my voice betraying a mixture of excitement and curiosity. Lysar leans forward slightly to get a better look, his fingers tightening on the strap of his quiver. Eldar leans forward as well, his eyes scrutinizing each engraving. Korvar crosses his arms and nods, murmuring an interesting sound. What are we supposed to do with it? Tavnar asks, his voice low, intrigued. Gedrir smiles slightly, as if weighing his words before speaking. This is no ordinary key, he says calmly. It reveals what it must reveal, only to those who can see what Valamir wanted to protect, not to force, not to blind curiosity, but to intention and spirit. He slides the key across the wood of the table, making the surface creak slightly under the weight. Dust swirls in the sunlight, and the engraving seems to dance for a moment before our eyes. I don't understand, Lysar murmurs, frowning. No one would understand unless they were prepared, Gedrir replies softly. But you, Kaller, you'll see what this key can do when the time is right. A silence falls. My friends exchange glances, intrigued and slightly suspicious. They know nothing about this secret mission, and the key's mysterious aura doesn't help matters. Your friends shift uncomfortably, sensing the gravity of the situation. Korvar speaks up, his gruff voice laced with caution. Gedrir, what exactly are you getting us into? This key. It feels heavy even just looking at it. Eldar nods in agreement, his eyes still fixed on the intricate carvings. Yes, what kind of secrets could it possibly unlock? Tavnar's brow furrows, his hand instinctively reaching for his eagle's familiar shape, absent-mindedly stroking the air. This isn't just some trinket, is it? Lysar's quiet nature belies his intense focus, his gaze locked onto the key as if trying to decipher its secrets. He whispers, almost to himself, "Why wouldn't you tell us more?" My fascinated gaze flickers between the key and Gedrier. This time I have no doubt he hasn't lied. This key, ancient, mysterious, it radiates something, a presence, an invisible force, an indefinable energy. Around me, my companions are growing impatient. It's time to tell them the truth. Guys, I'll tell you everything now that I'm sure Gedrier told me the truth. Last night he came to my parents' farmhouse. He wanted to speak to me alone. Long story short, Gedrier is one of the last descendants of Valamir, the creator of the mythical way of Valamir, the very one our king wants to rehabilitate. I pause briefly. Everyone looks at me attentive. He learned of our mission thanks to the messages I sent to the region to recruit volunteers, and he was looking for someone worthy, someone capable of finding his ancestors' lost tomb and the secret it holds. He confided in me that I was that man, that I would prove myself worthy. I glance at Gedrier, who listens to me without a word, his eyes shining. Gedrier asks nothing, except that we complete this quest. I accept it, of course. No matter what we find, we will do our best to reach that tomb and discover the power it has held for centuries. A silence falls. Only the crackling of the fire and the song of the birds outside break it. I sense in their eyes a mixture of fear, curiosity, and elation that something has shifted. Your words hang in the air and the room feels smaller, heavier. Your companions stare at you, mouths agape, stunned. It's as if they're trying to process the enormity of what you've just revealed. Korvar blinks, his weathered face creasing further. Descendant of Valamir, lost tomb, power, you're talking about, magic. He spits out the last word like a curse. Eldar gasps, his hand flying to the hilt of his sword. You mean to say that this key might grant us access to? He trails off, overwhelmed. Tavnar whistles, his eyes wide. We're not just talking about some dusty old ruins, are we? We're talking about changing the course of history. Lysar's eyes dart between Gedrier and you, searching for reassurance. Kalar, what have you gotten us into? He whispers, his voice barely audible. Gedrier clears his throat again, nodding solemnly. Thank you, Kalar. You've summarized it perfectly. And I promise you this isn't about power or gain. It's about understanding and protecting something greater than ourselves. I sigh slightly, unsure of what I have to say to my friends. Listen, guys, we're going to try to complete this quest out of a duty to remember our Boldum people, above all. Finding the puzzle fragments scattered along Valamir's path is already a quest in itself. Finding his tomb is, of course, the ultimate goal, but we're not sure of that, and Gedrier knows it very well. We'll do our best. But you should know that Valamir's tomb does not necessarily contain something grandiose. Maybe his tomb has already been plundered and no one knows it. We just know that according to legend, a secret force or power would be hidden inside, but no one knows what. A magical artifact, a special weapon, a lost knowledge, or maybe nothing at all. We will discover it only if we find this tomb, which, according to legend, is located at the very end of Valamir's path, in the Great Devouring Mountains. But to find this tomb, we must first put together the pieces of the puzzle, which we will discover thanks to this magic key that you have before your eyes. Your words seem to bring some clarity, even comfort to your friends. Eldar nods, loosening his grip on his sword. Yes, you're right. We've always known the tales of Valamir's path. This only takes it further. Korvar grunts, still frowning. It still doesn't sit well with me, but I'm not one to back down either. Not when you've committed yourself, Kalar. Tavnar smirks, his enthusiasm returning. And imagine the stories we'll tell. Finding an ancient tomb, that's mythology. Lysar bites his lip, falling silent again, his gaze fixed on the key. His discomfort is palpable, but he doesn't object. Gedrier places a hand on your shoulder, his expression sincere. Thank you, Kalar. You're telling them the truth, no embellishments. This means more than you know. He addresses your group again. I know this is a lot to take in, but know that I would not have chosen Kalar or any of you if I didn't believe you were capable. You have all shown strength, courage, and loyalty. That is the most important thing. I straighten a little in my chair, scrutinizing the varied reactions of my friends to ensure they will follow me in this mission, parallel to the one our king has entrusted to us, before turning to the old man. Thank you for your trust, Gedrier. We will be worthy of it. Tell me, how does this key work in? How can we discover the whereabouts of these famous fragments? These fragments will form a map to find this tomb if I understand correctly. Gedrier slowly stands up and walks over to the fireplace. He slides a few logs inside, and after a few sparks, a faint fire ignites, casting a soft glow over his tired face. He sits back down, the stone key in his hand, and speaks in a low but assured voice. Yes, Kalar, this key is indeed the one I told you about, but it doesn't work like an ordinary key. He places it on the table in front of you, his fingers caressing it almost reverently. According to my family's stories, it reacts to the presence of the fragments. It vibrates, faintly at first, then increasingly louder as you approach it. He glances at the key, as if afraid it might come to life. These fragments are said to be small carved stones, hidden in the ancient villages built along the way of Valamir. They are often mistaken for simple ancient ornaments, but each one contains a piece of magic, and when the key approaches them, these fragments glow with a pure white, almost living light. He pauses briefly, his gaze drifting towards the crackling flame. I have never seen them with my own eyes, but the legends of my lineage are clear. This key responds only to one who sincerely pursues Valamir's purpose. If it vibrates in your hands, Kalar, it is because it recognizes that intention in you. Not a divine blessing, no, but a resonance, as if your oath has awakened what he has carried within him for centuries. He slowly raises his head and meets your gaze. Regarding the route, once all the fragments are gathered, they will allow you to reconstruct the path leading to Valamir's tomb. As Gedrier finishes his sentence, the fire crackles loudly, filling the brief silence. The air seems heavier, charged with anticipation. You mean, Lysar murmurs, his voice barely above a whisper. We'll have to find these fragments one by one using the key, and will each one lead us closer to the tomb? Eldar leans forward, his face beaming with excitement. It's like a treasure hunt, a real adventure. Tavnar chuckles, shaking his head. More like a hunt for magic stones. But hey, when did something this interesting last happen to us? Korvar rubs his temples, muttering, Great, because what we really needed was another mystery to unravel while trying to fix this damned way. Gedrier smiled weakly, ignoring Korvar's sarcasm. Indeed, it won't be easy, but I believe that together you can do it. He brought the key closer to you, its surface seeming to hum gently as if alive. Take it, Kalar. Prove that the spirit of Valamir still resonates in our time. I reach out and grasp the stone key. As my palm grasps it, a slight but distinct vibration runs through my arm. I almost jump, surprised by the unusual sensation. The key continues to vibrate gently between my fingers, as if breathing, reacting to my presence. A thrill of excitement runs through me. The reality of this mission suddenly hits me with intensity. My companions exchange fascinated glances, each understanding that this simple object hides much more than meets the eye. I grip the key a little tighter, determined. It is mine now, and with it, our quest truly begins. The soft hum of the key intensifies, matching your determination. Your friends lean in, mesmerized, watching the key's energy flow through you. By the gods, Eldar stammers, amazed. It's alive. Tavnar whistles again, clearly delighted. Korvar's skeptical expression fades, replaced by one close to wonder. Lysar reaches out hesitantly, clearly tempted to touch the key himself. Gaidrir watches you, his eyes shining with a mixture of hope and fear. He knows this moment marks the beginning of something extraordinary, something that could change everything. "Remember, Kalar," he whispers, "the key will guide you. Listen to its whispers and trust your instincts." The room falls silent again. Only the crackling flames and the soft hum of the key can be heard. Your friends are waiting, ready to follow you into the unknown.